Okay, are you aware of the League of Nations mandate for Palestine?
There's a lot of these documents, but educate us.
Are you aware of the Balfour Declaration and then the subsequent mandate for Palestine?
We are, but obviously, make your point, make your argument.
And the year is 2024, not 1924. Yes?
I'm waiting for you to finish. I don't want to cut you or anything.
That's fine.
Because then, when you're making a point and then there's these questions, I'll jump in, then it will become conflated, like, oh bro, you're supposed to let me finish. So I'll give you some time to set the scene, and then we'll proceed from there.
So the issue you're talking about on your channel is the issue of the territory, which is now known as Israel and the occupied territories, which is the official UN language, is that before that it was part of the Ottoman Empire and the whole region was known as Syria-Palestine. And I understand that in any situation people will sometimes become displaced, but that during the towards the end of the Ottoman Empire, the Zionist movement started to purchase land in the land known as Israel and bought the land. And then, after the First World War, which was predominantly a European war, the winning powers created the League of Nations, and so that created the mandate for Palestine. I'm only talking historical facts to you, sir. I'm not saying that people haven't suffered. People do suffer. The Germans suffered terribly at the end of the Second World War. You don't hear a lot about that. You also hear that the reason why there was a Second World War because the Germans couldn't accept the Treaty of Versailles. Well, the international community at the time had the mandate for Palestine.
Okay. Do you believe, coming back to the current era, because if we go into history, of course, it's history according to whom, and if we get bogged down in history and there's mass murder taking place, of course, there's a discrepancy in terms of the priority. Now, can you agree that what's going on now in Palestine is tragic, it's unfair, it's abhorrent, and Israel needs to pay for its war crimes internationally? Yeah.
Can you please give an example of a war crime committed by the IDF?
A war crime committed by the IDF was the killing of the Jabalia refugee camp, where 100 Palestinians were killed just to search for one Hamas. The international communities obviously said that this is it's a crime, it's wrong. Israel didn't really give any intent, any justification other than, there was one Hamas there, and yeah.
I don't know about that case. How can you justify...
I can give you another case then towards the...
Yes, I'm listening to you. I said I'd be
polite. So there's a apartment, I think 6-story apartment block that I think it was on October 30th that was bombed, and many people passed away, half of them being children. Again, Israel gave no reason, no justification, and it was just brushed under the carpet.
Can I answer that one?
Yeah, of course.
Right, okay. The BBC has been criticised heavily for being anti-Israel. There's been a report from that. But the BBC itself said of a case where a phone caller from the IDF had identified a tower block as a military target. And there are many cases of Hamas putting their military operations inside schools and hospitals. Now, in a situation of war, and I believe it is a situation of war, if you go firing rockets from a school or a hospital, you make that a military target. Now, if you read the BBC, which people accuse of bias all along, the IDF...
Do you accuse them of being biased?
Yes, I think sometimes they are very, very biased against Israel. And the IDF representative spoke in Arabic to the person who managed the building and said, look, we've identified this as a military target, but gave them a chance to evacuate. Yeah?
I'm just pulling out the, if we're talking about the same one, but I'm listening.
No, I mean, you can, because the thing is that how can you justify there are practically more tunnels under the territory of Gaza than there are under Manhattan. And Manhattan's got a well-established network of tunnels, and those tunnels were devised to attack Israel. There needs to be peace between the Arabs and the Israelis. There needs to be peace.
Okay, so with regards
Absolutely, there needs to be peace.
So with regards to the 6-story apartment block, there's actually nothing on the record of Israel, according to Human Rights Watch, saying this was the reason why we did it, this was the target that we're looking for. Pertaining the, and that's why it's part of the war crime. If I can just finish the point, because I was listening to you for quite a while. And then when you're talking about the tunnels, whenever there's discussion of tunnels, it's made to seem as if the tunnels were began by Hamas and concocted and made solely by Hamas. And hopefully you're an individual that has some basic knowledge with regards to this. That's completely patently false, because Israel has admitted, I mean, one such interaction was on CNN, which is a famous clip that went round. The reporter being actually saying, "Oh, so you're saying that you guys made tunnels before?" And then he said, "Yes, we made tunnels before, but Hamas have expanded those tunnels." That was the second point. So this whole notion that, oh, because Hamas has tunnels, okay, it has tunnels, so that excuses the bombing of refugee camps, tent cities, like the Jabalia refugee camp, like Rafah. Does it excuse bombing? Just because Hamas is now hiding amongst the population of children, does that now make it okay? I think any human rights organization on the planet would not excuse and say that it's now okay for you to kill children just to get that Hamas individual. That's blind rage, and that is what constitutes as a war crime. Go ahead.
You have said that is your account. If I am a soldier of Hamas, because they identify themselves as an organization.
Is it okay if we move there, because that just spoils the decor of the back?
Yeah,
if we move,
with the explicit aim of destroying Israel. If I am a soldier, if I were ever called to fight for a cause, and I went into a school or hospital, that would make me a coward, because that would be putting those women and children at risk. And so the wider issue is that Hamas could make peace at any time with Israel. They could release the hostages, not the sausages, and they could make peace. But the thing is, my understanding is that Hamas does not want peace with Israel. Sinwar does not want peace with Israel. There needs to be peace in the Middle East.
Do you think that the Israeli officials are looking for peace and have made that clear to the public and it's on record?
I think Benjamin Netanyahu in his recent speech has made it quite clear that Israel wants peace. And by peace, Israel does not want its borders to be attacked. Israel does not want people going over its borders committing terrorist atrocities. Israel does not want rockets being fired into its territory. If you send a rocket into a territory, you are going to be causing destruction. And the thing is, if I listen to the speech of Benjamin Netanyahu, he is saying he wants peace with the Arab world. He is saying he wants peace in the region. That involves respecting Israel's borders. That involves making peace. And the thing is that there have been too many cases of wars in the Middle East. No one wants women and children killed. Nobody. Yeah, and the thing is, if you put military installations in schools and hospitals, then there are going to be casualties in schools and hospitals. It's very, very simple.
Okay, so when saying that Israel wants peace, I beg to differ, because one such example of Israel clearly not wanting peace is when there was an option presented in the UNGA, December 2022, there was a vote to turn the Middle East into a nuclear-free zone, and only one country was against it. Two guesses who that country was.
It was Israel.
It was Israel. So when you take that into consideration, and post-October the 7th, when you look at what Benjamin Netanyahu said and his genocidal rhetoric by saying all Palestinians are responsible, and then appealing to an Old Testament term called Amalek, and Bet Salem have said that anyone who's gone through the education system in Israel knows when Amalek is referred to, it means every man, woman, and child. Anyone who goes through that system. And I've spoken to a number of people here, and they've said, yes, Amalek is appalling language, he shouldn't have used it, this and that, but that is genocidal language from 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 2, which talks about killing babies. Now, when Netanyahu is saying all of Palestine is responsible, Naftali Bennett is saying we are fighting Nazis. Not Hamas is this, not Netanyahu saying no, Hamas is responsible. No, all of Palestinians are responsible. Daniel Hagari, who's the army spokesperson, he said, our goal is not precision, rather our goal is destruction. Now, when you have people saying stuff like this, do you think that that's non-genocidal rhetoric?
I do not want to comment on that without going and researching it myself.
On the surface
In
of
fact,
things.
but on the surface, if you go over a de facto border between the Gaza Strip and Israel, and you go and murder women and children, then unfortunately there are going to be people who are going to suffer when that country defends itself. If you're going to fire, it is not okay in international law to fire rockets at Israel.
That's not what I asked though.
I know it's not what you asked, yeah? What I do not believe that Israel necessarily should be quoting something from Samuel, but I believe that Israel has the right to exist, and that no matter what the plight has been, there needs to be peace within the region. And to answer your question about the nuclear bomb, Israel's policy on the nuclear issue is they've never confirmed or denied. But if I were such a small territory, I would want to have that option if they were ever attacked using that option. And one of the barriers to peace in the Middle East is the autocracy in Iran, where they are pursuing nuclear weapons. Everybody wants a world free of nuclear weapons, but we are all human beings, sir. We are all human beings. If this country did not have a nuclear deterrent, then other countries would seek to attack us with nuclear weapons. So I can say that as it is. I can find you sources that basically Hamas are putting their military operations in hospitals, in schools, and then they are finding those schools and hospitals attacked.
Okay. So there's a number of things that you mentioned. You haven't really answered my points, which is I've given you a number of quotes. What did you say about Amalek? I don't want to misrepresent you. What he said about Amalek.
I have not said anything. I would say.
Is that not genocidal? That was my question.
I would say that any collective punishment is wrong. I would also say that during the Second World War, which was the last time this country was officially at war with another country, there was the bombing of Dresden, there was the Blitz in London, and...
But you've given your stance, which is collective punishment is wrong.
I have not said... I believe that if there was a...
Because it's my turn to speak, I wanted to know your stance before I responded.
I believe that Israel is in an extremely difficult situation
Is
with
collective
Gaza.
punishment wrong?
In most cases, yes.
Then what are the cases in which collective punishment, where you're wiping out, where you intend to wipe everyone out, where that's justified?
I think it would be an extremely rare case.
But not in Palestine. The reason...
Hey, they did better this time with Hezbollah.
You know why?
I'm actually having a conversation here, Amy. I'm having a conversation.
No,
So
that's fine. But
yeah,
they did
that's
better
fine.
with Hezbollah.
So what?
I just want to say,
So
they did better
what
with
I'm saying
Hezbollah.
is that
They targeted the terrorists, but are you going to
the
acknowledge
fact that it's taking so long,
bad for you?
I think that it shouldn't take this long. Like there are women, there are children, there are elderly people, there are Christians,
And there are Hamas fighters who have not surrendered.
and of course there are Hamas fighters as well. So I'll ask you the question again. Is collective punishment okay in Palestine, knowing this?
I think the IDF has to be extremely careful in its operations.
I'm not asking about them, I'm asking you. What do you think?
I think collective punishment is, in 99.9% cases, wrong.
I'm asking about Palestine.
Well, I don't consider that the territory was known as Syria Palestine before 1922.
I'm not
There needs to be a wider question. There needs to be a wider solution in the region.
Look, I've asked you a very simple question.
Are you? I mean, the thing is that you're asking me a specific question.
You're
asking me a specific question.
Yes,
I said to you.
You can ask me that question.
Have been,
ask me that question.
In the World War, there was a.
I've asked a very simple question.
In
Is
some
collective
cases,
punishment?
collective punishment is justified.
No.
I'll give you an example.
No, I've asked
I
you.
will give you an
I've given you a
example.
specific point.
I will give you an example.
Is collective punishment allowed? Is collective punishment justified in Palestine? That was my question.
Right, okay, I will give you an
example. You can't beat Israel because you're fighting with God.
I'm having a conversation.
It's Speaker's Corner.
Please, I'm at Speaker's Corner.
Is she with you?
No, we're separate
We know
people.
each other.
We're separate people.
But
I just say
I have
to
promised
you
you that we would have an organised
Stop
debate.
crying that Israel cannot be beaten. Stop
Amy,
crying.
Amy,
The Bible says in Psalm 83 that
Bible
if you
says a
fight
lot of
against
things.
There's a lot of things,
Israel, it will actually destroy all his enemies.
The Bible also says take the heads of infants and smash them on rocks.
And that's what happened as a prophecy.
Can I have a
It's
conversation with my
prophecy.
friend here?
He's not your friend. He's a son of Satan.
No, I want to
You're a
talk
son of
to him
Satan, and
in the way that Paul talks.
Thank
you
you.
can't deny the fact that Israel is beating the asses of Islamic
doesn't need your help.
terrorism. I'm talking to you.
But he
I'm
doesn't
not
need
here
your
to
help.
him. Stop being an apologist for Islamic terrorism, for Muslim people in the Middle East, a minority who use the Quran for terrorist
Amy,
purposes.
you just justified smashing the heads of infants on rocks.
I'm not justifying anything. I'm
literally
telling you
just
what the
justified
Bible says. The Bible says that if you fight with Israel, you will have the threat of God against you.
Amy,
And this is what's going on with every country that's
Amy,
fighting
they
with
spit
Israel.
on you in Israel.
I'm not talking
They
about
spit on
me. I'm
Christians.
talking about what the Bible
What's wrong with
says.
you?
If you fight with
Why are you
Israel,
okay with Christians
because
being spat at?
I'm not talking about Christians.
You came
I'm
over
talking
there
about-
last time,
I'm talking
and
about
they're saying
Islamic terrorism,
that they are
Islamic
completely separate from you.
terrorism. When
Yeah, Islamic
Jesus
terrorism.
Jesus comes back and he will fight. Look at read Zechariah 10, and he will tell you that Israel will fight with the enemies of Israel. Jesus Christ
I'd rather
is
have a
coming back,
conversation-
and he will fight with the Islamic terrorists who fight in the
I'd
name
rather
of
have a
Allah
conversation with you,
against
but
the
if this
Jewish and
continues-
When
against
she's
all the
finished,
Catholic
I will
people.
talk to you.
Well, I don't think she has an off button, to be honest.
Well, you shouldn't come to
You
speak.
see.
This is a place
No,
of
no,
freedom
I
of
understand.
speech.
It's
You
Speaker's
want to
Corner.
put your
It is
propaganda
actually-
against Israel.
Amy,
But
I'm
are you
actually
gonna
asking
admit-
you, can I carry on with my
are you gonna
conversation?
admit-
Because
are
I'm going
you
to give you an
gonna
answer and
admit-
an
Are
example
you going to
history
admit
where
the
it was
fact that
justified.
your
If you
Islamic
can't, if
country
I'm
this
going
is-
to give you an
cannot
answer.
beat Israel?
Yeah? When
Are
she
you
is
going to
finished.
admit that the Quran says
Amy,
to go and fight
could
the
you
enemy,
please
go
let me
and
finish and give
fight
my
the
answer? I'm having
unbelievers?
a-
You can have your conversation. I can say what I want to Speaker's Corner. Are you
Yeah,
going to
she's
admit that
kind
Hamas
right
is
there.
Well, then nice to
using?
meet you then.
Are you
No,
going to
I'd
admit
like
that
to finish the
Hamas
conversation,
is
so I've got an
using
answer
I've given
the
you a chance
Quranic
as well, but I
verses
mean-
Can I
and the
give you
hadith
an answer
to
to
fight
Well, not
against
if you can't
Israel?
even get your friend
Are
to
you
be
gonna-
quiet.
Are you
I
going to
think there
admit
should- I
that?
think-
If somebody comes and if Ali starts interrupting
Are you
me,
gonna admit
I can
that?
ask Ali, look, respectfully, I want to finish this
shouldn't come
conversation,
to
and he would
Speaker's
walk off.
Corner.
I'm not. I don't.
She's
You should
heckling.
arrange-
That's what she's
you should
doing.
Heckling,
arrange
yes.
your own
I agree with
meeting.
you.
You should
Yeah.
arrange
Can
your
we
own
finish the
meeting.
conversation?
You
Can
can't
we
take
move
Well,
the
on?
heat
it's
at
very
Speaker's
difficult to
Corner.
finish the conversation when she's
can't
shouting
take
in
the
my
heat.
ear.
I will give
You
you
go
the
and put your
answer.
false
If she's
propaganda
shouting in my ear,
against
I can't think
Israel.
straight.
You can't because you can't.
And I
face
don't think the viewers will be
what
able to
you
pick up
can't
what you're
because
saying.
you wanna
If you want me,
promote-
if you want me to give her a
promote
time
your
to finish her
propaganda
spiel, 30
against
seconds, 40
Israel.
seconds, I can do that. But then afterwards, I'd like to speak with you. If you can't control this situation, then
I'm
I'd
going
go.
to
not
leave
with
in
her.
5 minutes, but at the end of the day,
not with her.
we are a Speaker's Corner. You
We
want
are
to
a Speaker's
present
Corner.
your propaganda against Israel,
you're right.
but
You
are
know,
you
you
going to
terminate it.
are you going to face the fact
Otherwise you're gonna
that
give you
Israel
headache.
was
Yeah,
not
I'm getting a
treated
headache
by
already.
any of the Islamic terrorist
Especially when she's
countries
justifying
in the
smashing
8
infants'
years.
heads on
Yeah.
rocks.
The 8 years.
Look at her record already. It doesn't
They
stop.
tried to destroy Israel, and Israel won every single war. You cannot answer that. The Bible that you haven't read, that your Quran confirms, tells you that any country that fights with Israel God will destroy them. Read Psalm 83. With Psalm 83, it tells you that if you destroy the nation of
Are
Israel,
you so desperate for my attention?
I'm here to rebuke you. You come here because
Okay.
you want to have your own.
Do you want to have a
speech.
debate then?
Do it in
Do you want to have a debate then?
Amy.
Do you want to have a debate then? Do you want to have a debate then?
I'm here to tell you.
So you don't want to have a debate?
You already won. You're packing up. There is no debate. You packed
No, we
up
were actually
and
having
you
a
left.
conversation, Amy. and
We
I
were
would-
having
You
a
packed up
conversation.
and you left.
I'm moving now.
I would
Are you
appreciate
gonna
Do you
quit?
want to have
Are
a
you
debate?
gonna You already packed up. You lost the debate.
Amy,
You
do
cannot
you want to
defend,
have a
you
debate
cannot.
or not? It's a
You've
very
already
simple
packed
question.
up.
It doesn't matter. We can unpack.
You already, as far
Do
as
you
I'm
want to
concerned,
have a
you've
debate?
already packed up. We're done. You already packed up.
So you don't have a debate.
You packed up. You already lost
There
the
you go.
debate.
So she
You
doesn't
already
even
lost
wanna
the
have a debate then.
You already
You
lost
came-
the debate.
I actually.
Yeah, and then we had a nice setup.
I can't speak for her. I cannot speak for her.
No, I'm now saying
You're
that, look,
here to
I'm
promote
engaging with her
false
and saying, do
propaganda.
you want to have a
Engage, yeah.
debate?
Are you here?
I've asked her using 3 different sentence structures, and she's hell-bent on saying you packed up,
Okay, answer
you
my
come and you
question.
talk about
Are
Islam.
you happier about the way
Did you
Israel
want to
dealt
have
with
a debate?
Hezbollah? Answer my question.
Did you want to have
Are
a
you
debate?
here? I don't have to
Yes or
arrange
no?
anything with you.
Okay,
Are you
well,
here?
that's the-
Are you
Can't have a
happy
debate,
with
that's the thing.
how Israel dealt with
I don't
Hezbollah?
think you're.
Is that a better than
I don't think you're
collective
capable of
punishment?
having a
Are you
debate.
going to answer my
I don't think you're
question?
capable of having a
Are you
debate.
going to answer my question?
If it's in a debate
Are you
setup,
going
then
to
yes.
answer my question?
If it's in a debate setup, then yes.
Why,
If you're just going to
can't you
speak
have a
at me,
conversation?
I'm
I'm
not
asking
with
you
you.
a question.
You're incapable of having a conversation.
I asked you a question.
You're incapable of
Answer
having
my
a conversation.
question. Answer my question.
No.
Why are you asking me to do a debate then? You said...
You're welcome to say yes or no.
You said...
You're welcome
right,
to say yes or no.
You said you condemn the collective punishment that IDF is doing. And I'm telling you, are you happy with the way
IDF
IDF
is
dealt
not
with
engaging
Hezbollah?
I don't consent to this debate.
That's fine. So why do you ask me? You see, I'm
Yeah.
asking you a question because you can't answer.
Your time is gone now. Your time is gone now.
Were defeated in one
5
strike
minutes,
with
Your
as
time is
little
gone now.
casualty as possible.
That offer-
Are you happy with that?
I have taken that offer
Are you
back.
happy with that?
I have taken that debate
because
offer
you
back
can't,
now.
You can't answer that because you know the way they killed the Hezbollah leader was a success. Excuse me, I didn't mean to do it on purpose. They did it. You know that. That's a better way to do it.
Better way to do
targeted
what?
them to kill the terrorists. They
What are you
killed
talking
them
about?
straight away. The way they blew up the speakers, whatever devices they were
Speakers?
using. The
What are you
devices
talking
they
about?
were using.
What devices were they
the
using?
devices they were using.
What devices were they using?
To speak
Pages.
amongst themselves, pages, whatever they're
Yeah.
called.
You've not heard that story,
the IDF, right? They targeted the terrorists, so that's
Yeah.
surely better. They've done it in a better
And
way
the
now.
8-year-old girl died as well. Was she a terrorist?
Just like the little girl,
Was
just
she a
like
terrorist?
the 60 million Christians
Was she
who are
a terrorist?
persecuted in Africa
Don't
because
tell
of
me about
Islamic
Africa,
terrorism.
woman. The 8-year-old girl that died. Are you
Right.
justifying that?
I'm not justifying that. Are you
Yes, I
justifying
certainly
the
hope
60
not.
million Christians
I
displaced
certainly
in
hope
Africa
not.
because of Islamic
Don't
terrorism?
you dare justify the
Are you
killing of a
justifying the millions of
8-year-old.
Afghan women who
8-year-old
cannot even
girl.
speak in public, who
Stop
have to
spitting.
beg for money?
Stop spitting.
Are you
Speak properly.
justifying that?
You
can't
cannot justify the
that.
killing of an 8-year-old girl,
What
and you
about
can't.
the 60
You
million
can't justify the
displaced
killing
African
of
Christians?
a man in a grocery
What about
store.
all the people
You
who
simply
died
cannot
as a result
justify.
of Islamic terrorism
You
based on the
cannot
Quran
justify.
and Hadith?
You cannot justify the killing of a person in a grocery store. Are you justifying
That
that?
is
I was actually about to reply to your question, by the way.
justify
Well,
the
you're
raping
gone
of
now,
a
you're
9-year-old
finished.
girl?
I was actually
It's
about to
game
answer
over
your
now.
Can you
question.
justify the raping of a 9-year-old girl? Can you do it on camera, please?
An 8-year-old died
Can you
when your friend
justify
was talking
the
about.
raping of a 9-year-old girl?
When-
Because according to your Sahih
your
Hadith,
sources.
Muhammad
What's a
was
Sahih- what's a
Muhammad
Sahih Hadith?
married
What's a Sahih Hadith?
Sahih Hadith. Did you not listen to me?
No, you said Sahih
I said
Hadith.
Sahih Hadith. You're not
No,
listening.
I heard
You don't know
Sahih
language.
Hadith,
Okay.
and I'm asking
according
you.
to Sahih
I don't know what.
Hadith, Sahih Bukhari,
No, what are you talking about? I don't know what.
5134,
I don't know what are you
your
talking
prophet's
about?
words, dude. You know
Look,
what
don't
the prophet
speak
said?
nonsense.
So your
everyone
prophet's words are
can,
nonsense.
everyone can,
Your prophet's words are
everyone
nonsense.
can quote things.
Your prophet married
Everyone-
and had sex with a
everyone
9-year-old girl.
can quote things
so are you
out of
okay
context.
with raping a 9-year-old girl?
Can
Are you
quote
okay
things
with that?
out of context.
It was marriage at 6 and sex at 9.
Where's the rape
Is it
allegation?
okay to have sex
Where's
with
the
a
rape
9-year-old girl?
allegation?
Would a
Where's
9-year-old
the
girl
rape
have
alle-
sex?
Where's the rape
Would a 9-year-old girl have
allegation? Where's
sex?
the rape
Would you
allegation?
show your own daughter
Show
have
you
sex
evidence.
with?
Show you evidence.
You guys are running away
Show
from
you
sex.
evidence.
You're running away
We're
from sex.
not running away, boy. We're not
A
running
little
away.
girl,
Where
a little
is
girl.
the
Wait,
evidence?
It's
why
not
are you
old
so
enough to get
scared?
married.
Wait. Why are you so scared about the Palestine topic that this lady was talking
girl is
about?
not old enough for you to rape. Your prophet
Why
had
are
sex
you
with
running
her.
away from the Palestine discussion?
Don't run to Amy. just
Amy,
because you
why are
don't
you
wanna
running
deal with
away?
this
I'm running away.
You are running
why
away.
you running
Why is he coming in?
I'm not running away.
Why do you need his help?
I'm not running
Why do you
away.
need his help?
You need her help. You're running away from her.
Why is he helping you?
I'm literally
Make
talking
your
to you about
argument.
Muhammad
Is it
having
okay
sex
for
with
the
a
guy
9-year-old girl?
to be killed in a grocery store because of exploding pages?
Don't be a kid. Don't listen to him.
Why is she looking so sad?
She's sad because of how ugly you are. Now let's get back to the
She's
point.
sad because of how ugly I am.
Yeah, I mean she's sad in the state.
Is that according to the Bible?
Let's be honest.
Is
Okay,
that
so
is that what
Isaiah
Jesus
Bukhari,
teaches you, to go and
5:134.
call people ugly?
Why is it your prophet
Is that
had
what your
sex
Bible
with a 9-year-old
teaches you?
girl? Do you want to answer that? Why does your prophet teach
Does
you
your
to have sex with
Bible
a child?
teach you to go to people
Why
and
does
call
your
them
prophet
ugly?
teach you can have
Aren't
sex
we
with a
made
child?
in the image of
You're
God?
not made in the image of God. You're made in the image of Satan because that's
Oh,
your father. That's your
okay.
father, Satan.
My
Your
father
father's
Satan.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, your
then
father's Satan.
what's going to happen to
Your
me
prophet
then?
was
What's
saying,
going to happen to
when
me
he
then?
had sex with a 9-year-old
What's
girl,
gonna
that was a
happen to me
satanic
then?
act. The Bible
What's
clearly
going to be
stipulates that you have to be over the age of puberty, not
What's
under it.
going to happen to me?
Yes, according to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 37.
Speaking to him or me?
I'm speaking to both of you.
I'm
He answered
asking
the
you
question,
what's
I'm
going to
answering.
happen to me.
What's going to happen to you?
Yes.
According to the Bible, you go to hell. That's where you belong.
Oh, okay.
For
And
preaching
according
a
to
false
the
gospel.
okay,
Okay.
as a Christian, do you
No, the
believe
question is-
that? Look,
Hold on.
very
As a
simple
Muslim,
question. Do you believe Jesus
that
is
Muhammad was a
eternally
prophet
generated
that was valid, even though he had
from
sex with a
the
9-year-old
Father?
girl?
Is Jesus eternally generated from
You're
the Father?
talking about Trinitarian dogmatics. I'm talking about your
Do you
prophet
believe in the
marrying a
Trinity?
9-year-old.
Do you believe in the
You're
Trinity?
talking about Trinitarian dogmatics. It's a sideway. That's nothing to do with what I said.
Dogmatics.
Yes,
Isn't
that's
that what
nothing
you
to do with
believe in, though?
That's nothing to do with what I just
It's
said.
got nothing to do with